Video games have mostly shed their image of being bad for you, with all right-thinking people ready to accept that games improve hand-eye coordination, boost your brain power, and even help brush up your social skills. Unless all your islanders are trash idiots. God, move out, Ike! However, there are some video games that have been objectively proven to be bad for some of their players, in that those players have suffered actual real-world injuries while playing, whether through their own inattentiveness, some questionable game design, or just downright bad luck. Here are 7 video games that injured people in real life. Enjoy, and be careful out there, folks. The arcade version of Supersonic Blast Man was a game in which players could don boxing gloves and punch a mechanical punching pad to help the main character, a superhero named Sonic Blast Man, avert a series of disasters, starting with a simple mugging, and escalating all the way up to an asteroid on a collision course with Earth. One real-life disaster that reportedly befell a lot of players, however, was a host of real-life injuries in the form of shattered hands and wrists caused by punching much too hard. This came to a head in 1996 when the US Consumer Product Safety Commission announced that Taito, the makers of Supersonic Blast Man, had to agree to pay a civil penalty of $50,000 to settle allegations that the company failed to report about 70 cases in which young players fractured or injured wrists and arms as a result of hitting the Blast Man's punching pad with great enthusiasm. I mean, they were trying to stop an asteroid from destroying the Earth, so what did we expect? Brave heroes, I say. Usually, the only injuries sustained during a game of Mario Party are to my feelings when the bullshit random stars get awarded to everyone else at the end of the game and I lose again! Unbelievable. Well, back in 1998, when the very first Mario Party came out for the N64, there were many reports of actual injuries being caused by the minigames themselves. The culprit was apparently the kind of minigame that involved rotating the control stick, such as Tug of War. The idea is that you're supposed to use your thumb to rotate the stick, but players discovered that if you wanted to rotate the stick fast enough to actually win, you'd have to use the palm of your hand. This palm-based technique gave Mario Party players the competitive advantage at the cost of some of them suffering terrible cuts, blisters, and friction burns. This was apparently such an issue, and in an age before downloadable game updates were a thing, that Nintendo agreed to a settlement with the New York State Attorney General's office in which they had to send out gloves for players to protect their delicate palms with up to 4 pairs per family at a potential cost of tens of millions of dollars. Nintendo was even still feeling the effects of this 23 years later with the release of Mario Party Superstars for the Switch. Being a remake of the original Mario Party, Superstars included those same original minigames, and so Nintendo had to add a disclaimer to the game, reading, "To avoid irritation to your skin and/or damage to the control stick, do not rotate it with the palm of your hand." But this could be my chance to win the stars I need to prevent me losing out to the random bullshit ones at the end. You can see my dilemma.
Winner!
Across the planet, amazing creatures have been discovered. Now, more than ever, undiscovered species are appearing. We call these creatures Pokemon.
Launched in July 2016, Pokemon Go whipped the world into a Pokemon hunting frenzy, drawing wannabe trainers out of their homes and into augmented reality wonderland as they sniffed out cute critters and flocked to landmarks that doubled as gyms and Pokestops. For those lost in the game, it's like living the complete Pokemon fantasy for real, but for those not in the know, it simply resembled a gang of very strange people getting excited about thin air or wandering blindly into the road. And that was the issue, people getting hurt playing Pokemon Go, not so much through the fault of the game, but simply because players were so engrossed in what they were doing that they forgot to pay attention to their surroundings. News articles from around the world record how this has happened countless times, from people falling onto railroad tracks, being hit by cars, or being, bitten by snakes while playing the game. And you may be wondering why Pokemon Go has a disclaimer about not playing it while driving. It's because some people apparently play it while driving, which sometimes ends how you'd expect. Anyway, keep an eye out for the sequel, Pokemon Stop. It's going to be much safer.
Go explore. Go discover. Go collect. Pokemon Go.
This is the shot. They've got one shot at this right now.
What am I watching? Get out! Come on!
Not one specific game here, but rather a category of games, which is to say esports, competitive gaming at a super high level with fabulous cash prizes for the most highly skilled.
That's a big stunt! That's a big engage!
Even though the competition is virtual, injuries have happened at esports events, whether from playing too hard and too long, or just from excessive celebration. One bizarre injury trend in esports, though, is the weirdly high number of lung collapses suffered by players, as noted in an investigation on video game website Kotaku. According to the report, between 2010 and 2017, at least 6 high-profile esports players suffered from a spontaneous pneumothorax, or a collapsed lung where the collapse wasn't caused by any sort of external trauma. Numerous explanations for this phenomenon are offered, including bad diet, posture, and lack of exercise, but the most interesting is that they can be caused by bad breathing habits, i.e. from holding your breath, such as pro esports players might do during particularly clutch plays.
The Germans find the grand final and FaZe denied a grand slam!
Of course, it could all also be a coincidence, but if you are planning a career in esports, just make sure you remember to breathe while you're doing it.
Absolutely unbelievable!
Arm Spirits was a 2007 arm wrestling arcade game made by Atlas, in which players had to arm wrestle 10 different opponents using a plastic arm mounted on the arcade machine, and you can probably already see where this is going. That's right, at least 3 people broke their arms, and all 150 Arm Spirit machines had to be recalled. We think that maybe some players get overexcited and twist their arms in an unnatural way, an Atlas spokesman said at the time, as if the problem was just that the game was too exciting and good. Anyway, if anyone does need their arm breaking for any reason, get in touch with Atlas. These things are probably all still in a warehouse somewhere.
Nice throw!
Nintendo's revolutionary and staggeringly popular Wii console ushered in a new era of motion-controlled gaming, and with it, a whole host of new ways to accidentally injure yourself. These ranged from muscle strains, to ankle injuries from balance board-related mishaps, to financial injury when you accidentally send an unsecured Wiimote through your living room plasma screen. A new one for the Wii, however, was the rise in so-called bystander injuries, which are exactly what they sound like. Injuries to innocent passers-by that happen when you're too engrossed in Wii Tennis to notice that you're about to lunge across the living room and sock your brother in the face with your controller.
30 love.
This was apparently enough of a concern in 2010 that the American Academy of Pediatrics presented a study about the number of injuries caused by interactive games, such as those found on the Wii, and suggested that children be supervised while playing. But if I'm stood near them supervising, I'm even more likely to catch a Wiimote to the crotch. This is a terrible idea. In what is perhaps the most obviously dangerous example on this list, because you literally can't see what you're doing in real life when playing, the increased popularity of VR games is leading to a correlated increase in the number of VR-related injuries. Cases include an example from the Journal of Medical Case Reports about a 31-year-old German man who broke his neck while playing a VR game that involved a combination of shoulder, arm and head movements while wearing a VR headset, and a Baltimore 14-year-old who lost his balance and fractured his kneecap while playing Superhot VR. It's not just accidents that can leave you needing a doctor after a VR session. Last year, Facebook had to recall around 4 million Oculus Quest 2 VR headset pads after thousands of players reported suffering from rashes, burning sensations, and other forms of skin irritation, with 45 of those affected needing medical attention. I just hope whoever administered that attention didn't do their training in Surgeon Simulator VR, or then we're really in trouble. There you have it, those were 7 video games that have injured people in real life. Got any other examples that we missed? Let us know in the comments below, and like and subscribe for more videos like this from Outside Xbox. Thanks for watching.